got this Jeep back in here. Beginning of the video, I started with some clips and a lot of pictures of this. I didn't get a whole lot of filming while I was doing this, but this is Labor Day weekend here at Dune Hippie Machine. It's been a hectic one, trying to keep people on the sand and going. And this is back. We're just doing a little bit of suspension tuning. So I figured since it was back, maybe I'd go over and do a little video kind of showing why these bumps got added, showing the setup and what I'm doing. I ended up changing the spring rate, so revalved these shocks. I've also was respringing it. We're trying to find a balance point of being able to handle some whoops, but also mainly the chatter. The chatter was pretty bad in this thing, so we were really attacking that. I ended up going a little soft with the spring, so we're going to end up putting a stiffer bottom spring on to help a little bit more with some bumps and make the bump zone a little stiffer. But other than that, the reason the bumps are on, if you can see these upper link mounts here, and there is a coolant hardline right there. And actually, if you look up in there really nice, that little dimple is from those Zerk fittings. So before, this Jeep didn't have bump stops on it, and it was bumping, and the thing that was stopping it was that coolant line for this rear-mounted radiator back here. So, didn't want to go all out. I mean, it is a 3-link Jeep. It's a 4-link rear. But Jeep problems, if you look at this drive shaft, the straps are off this thing right now. This is too much travel. The U-joint right up there in the upper joint is maxed out. So the limit straps, that's what's limiting this thing for travel. So those go up there in that bolt. So you can see, really this thing could have more travel if it had a longer drive shaft. But being a short wheelbase Jeep, that tends to be the problem with these Jeeps and getting them to pull a lot of travel, is those little tiny drive shafts, and the U-joints don't like those angles. So trying to work with what we got. This thing is bumped and strapped now in the rear with 10 inches of travel. There's a lot of stuff going on in here that we really just can't move and rearrange right now to get more up travel. So we have to, put these bumps in here and limit it to where it's at. So didn't go with a hydro bump, just wanted something with a rubber bump. And with all this stuff in there, the sway bars in here, this is what I came up with, something to just kind of drop down. And then these are just some little bolt-on, let's see if I can get in there. There's a little single bolt back here. These are just at Apple Tree. And, getting a little out of focus. They're just some little Volkswagen like rubber bumps for the swing axles on the Volkswagen. So I think this was 25 bucks for the pair of these. They're poly. Actually, they're not rubber. They're poly. So seem to be working out good. We're gonna get the spring rate swapped out on this thing and get them back out there. And this Jeep is wrapped up. And then we'll probably get into my truck. I haven't been out this much. I was gonna go out last night for a sunset rip, and I ended up having a problem with my truck. So as soon as I get this one done and out of here, we're going to pull my truck in here and get going on with what's going on that. Nothing too serious, just exhaust stuff. But it was running a little funky the other day when I was out there, and I wear a headset, and I didn't really realize what was going on. But nonetheless, we'll get into that once we get done with this. It's a little bit of change of scenery. Haven't pulled my truck into this shop in a little while. My truck lives over in the other garage that I have, and whenever I work on it over there, I always got to grab all my tools. Most of my tools, I keep them all over here, and I'm always carrying stuff over. So whenever I got a little bit of time before next project's in, it's nice to pull this thing in and be able to work on it. So still, it's Monday, Labor Day. Haven't been out as much as what I was hoping to be this weekend, but ended up having a problem. It was running a little bit funky the other day, and I kind of figured something was going on. But I kind of was just out there sitting watching, and now I've found the problem. So we're gonna work on fixing it. It was running a little funky, by meaning I could tell the tune was a little off. It was running like really rich, and I fired it up to move it this morning, and normally I drove it back with a headset, so I didn't really notice how loud it was. But when I fired it up, I noticed it was pretty loud, and then I came over here and I found this. It's pretty hard to see. It's not very light in here, but my exhaust is completely broke right there, just after the O2. So it's pretty much almost open header. or open manifold. That's a manifold. So yeah, we gotta pull this off and weld it. I got my exhaust. It's a manifold, so it's just a 3-bolt flange. I'll have to pull that off and the O2 sensor out. We're gonna have to weld that up, and I got a V-band right here, so I'll undo it right here. So it's just this little chunk I gotta take out, and then I'll have to weld this back up. So my exhaust, I have it all in a couple sections to make it easy for working on pulling in and out. There's another V-band there. So like the tailpipes are all on a, I guess it's like a 2-piece. Further up there, they slip together, and there's some springs holding it together. So that's how my exhaust is ran. Goes up and out like that. So yeah, that's been my issue. So I'm gonna work on getting it fixed up and see if I can get out for a rip tonight. I need to go out the Jeep. Got that back, the springs back on it and changed, and gonna go out and do a little bit more testing and video with that thing. So got to get this welded up so I can get out there, and probably gonna end up revalving the shocks on that Jeep. Sounds like it's bouncing up a little bit. So yeah, that's what we're gonna work on tonight, and probably end this video with is hopefully see if we get back out on the dunes to end Labor Day. Just finished making all my repairs, pull this thing out, and can get ready to go for a rip. So let's fire this thing up. No more exhaust leak. So Labor Day weekend, Monday, Labor Day, final night. We're gonna head into the dunes and go see who's out there and go run around, get some sunset laps in. I just got done seeing Mark drive the Jeep through a few sections. Looks like we're gonna get that thing back, and I'm gonna do some revalving on the rear. Needs a little bit more valving in the rebound, so that's gonna get dropped off tomorrow. We'll revalve that again, get that thing back out here, and get that thing fully dialed in. And for now, got my exhaust fixed. I'm out ripping some laps Monday night. There's maybe about like 100 people out here or so. Nothing compared to the weekend that was out here, but yeah, not a bad night out on the dunes. Pulls off Labor Day weekend.